What's going on, everyone? Gilman with Live Wealthy Stocks, back with another Apple update video, taking a look at how the stock traded today, some key support and resistance levels that we were looking out for and how that changed throughout the course of the day, or how some of them held up in today's case. And based on that, what the future of the stock could look like. So real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Each like and subscribe really helps me out as I'm trying to grow, and shows my videos to other people who might be interested in similar content. And comment down below if you are in Apple or what your thoughts on Apple are. So wasting no more time, let me get right into it and hit record. Let's take a look at the one-day chart and we'll kind of see how Apple is doing. So Apple for the day today was down about 69 cents, which is 0.56%. It's down another 25 cents after hours, but that could change as time goes on. The Nasdaq was actually up today 0.7%. The Dow was up 253 points, right? And as we all know, Apple is a part of these major indexes, so the fact that the Dow was up that much despite Apple being down is a sign. And then S&P was up nicely as well at $3.16, which is 0.86%. Down a little bit after hours, but you know, that varies as well. So what happened with Apple, right? So yesterday when we had ended kind of in the 123s, and you know, kind of pretty flat in the after hours pre-market. We start seeing a sell-off kind of in the pre-market, and right out of the gate, right, we went from, you know, the mid 122s, mid to high 122s, all the way down to test that 120, 150 level. Now, I was talking to one of you guys down in the comment section, and you know, we were talking about, does the stock move up or does the stock move down? And I said, you know, I think that I wouldn't be surprised if we go down to validate that 120, 150 level of support one more time before we move up. So we saw that happen today. That was interesting. But you know, it was kind of a weak day for Apple, a sideways day for Apple, which is fine because it's done a lot of movement lately. So it does need some time to kind of consolidate and recharge. Now, moved up, you know, right off of that, and this line, which for those of you guys that watched my video yesterday, I had drawn this line on the daily chart. Let me zoom in and kind of talk to you about it, right? So, you know, feel free to go back to yesterday's video, but this is the line we drew yesterday, going all the way back to 1124, and kind of this trend of us making a higher low, and in many of those cases a higher high as well. And so I had talked about, you know, I would like to see this 120 150 level hold, but I would also like for the stock to be kind of above this line, and I thought that it could act as a support point. Well, it was very clear from the very beginning that, you know, that support point did not hold, right, and we fell below it. So what happened was, when we hit up against this line, we came down, hit VWAP, couldn't break it, so then we went back to test the 120 150 level. Then we came right at VWAP again, and then we went down kind of, this time not all the way down to 120, 150. And then it was looking kind of strong, right? But guess what? This line, right, this line that we were looking at served as a perfect resistance point. So if we're above it, it can act as a support, but if we're under it, it can act as a resistance as we're going up. Sure enough, it did, and then we bounced off VWAP, and then for the rest of the day, it was just, I mean, if we zoom out a little bit, right, like I just did, you know, it's kind of around VWAP for most of the day. So above it, under it, breaking above it, hitting up against it, you know, really at the VWAP, and then we kind of closed a little bit higher than VWAP at 122.50, so a little late push, about 30 cents or so. But you know, just zooming out of this chart, what we see is, you know, a couple things. This bottom of 120, 150 held really nicely, which is a good thing. And then the top line, as it kind of goes up, acted as resistance here, and then also here. And then it was a lot of sideways movement for the second half of the day. So just some key things that we were kind of looking at and kind of got validated on moving forward. So let me go to the daily chart now as we do. So Apple for a while was doing this, it was decreasing in range, right? Then we had the breakout a few days ago, and then we were kind of taking a look at three levels: 117, 119, 120, 150. You know, we got through a lot of them, and now we are kind of turning, right? So yesterday was a red candle, and today is a red candle as well. So yesterday we made a higher high, higher low. Today we've made both a lower high and a lower low, which is not something that we like to see in a stock, right? But it's not, you know, it's not unheard of, right? It doesn't mean, oh, we're going to start tanking now. Not necessarily, right? It could just be taking a break. There's a lot of money movement going on right now into other stocks that were sort of depressed, right? So travel, you've got your airlines, cruises, things that generally did not do well during the pandemic, that do have a lot of potential once we get a vaccine. A lot of money movement is flowing that way. So not necessarily a bad sign, right? But from a support and resistance perspective, what do we have? Moving up, right, since we've now made a lower high than we did yesterday, right, the first point to knock out, in my opinion, okay, is this line right here, right? So if I go back to the daily chart, clearly that line acted as a point of resistance twice. Now that line's moving up slightly, so it's a matter of, does that line come first or does the high of today come first, right? In our case, the high of today will come first, which is right at 122.86, right? This 122.86 level, 122.86 was right as we opened. But you know, by the end of the day, 122.86 would be below the line. Sorry if that's confusing, but what we're talking about is the high of today, 122.86, will be the first point to knock out, as well as, you know, hitting up against this line. So come Monday, if we push up, I'm really watching this line, right? Because we're under this line now, currently. So now we need to make it over that line, and that line can act as resistance. We make it through this line, then we've got the high of yesterday, which comes in at 123.78, which takes us all the way back to 1013, which is a high of 125.39. So we got to knock a couple points out, this line, this 123.78, and then kind of hopefully make a move towards 125. On the support level, what we've got down below is that 121.50 level, which has now been validated a couple times, right? We validated it 2 days ago. We fell below that point actually, but we again validated it. So that 121.50 line, and then these lows, right? So the low of 2 days ago, which was 120.89, we've got 120.01, then we've got the 116.81. So those can all be good levels of support as well, as long as there's not a lot of just momentum going downward. And then we've also got the 121.50, 121.50, 119, and 117 that should hold as good support. On top of that, right, not to add to a lot of numbers we're looking at, right, we've got the 20 and the 50-day moving average coming in right at 118.72 and 116.91. Now 118.72 kind of aligns with that 119 line we're looking at. 116.91 aligns with that 117 line we're looking at. So, two other things that we are looking out for. And then from an EMA perspective, right, they're stacked, which, as I've said multiple times, is a good thing. So we've got the 8 EMA at 120.66 and then 21 at 118.74, which again, 118.74 kind of aligns with that 119 mark we're looking at. Then we've got 34 at 117.81, 55 at 116.25. And if we fall all the way down to it, we've got an 89 EMA at 112.62. Those are kind of points to look for if the stock is going down. But come Monday morning, we'll get a better sense of direction on which way the stock is moving. And then based on that, we'll know if we're looking for resistance levels or support levels. Remember that you can, make money either way of a stock going up or down, depending on whether you buy, whether you go long a stock or short a stock, call options or put options. If you do like bull puts or bear calls. So there's a lot of ways that even if a stock isn't doing too much, if you can get the direction generally right, then you can make money. But yeah, let me know if you guys or what your trade plans are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate each and every one of you guys and all the support you guys have shown me. It's been truly amazing to talk to some of you guys and get to figure out what your trade plans are and share mine with you guys. So with that, let's remember to be a bit better every single day. Hope you guys have an amazing weekend coming up. And yeah, until next time.